Hi, it's Christoph for Fundamental Changes, here to talk to you about artificial harmonics. There are many ways to execute artificial harmonics. I'm going to run you through these options. As always, experiment with them, see what works best for you, and have fun. The best way to execute artificial harmonics for pick users is to hold the pick between the middle finger and the thumb of the picking hand, so the index finger is free. We're going to use this index finger to point towards 12 frets above the fretted note. So for example, if I play the 7th fret of the G string, a D note, I'm going to use my index finger of the picking hand to point towards 12 frets higher, the 19th fret, and I'm going to lightly touch above the metal of the 19th fret. While doing this, I'm going to pick the string, the same string, the G string, behind the index finger. It creates this sound. The sound has to be similar to a natural harmonic. A good tip is to make the distance between the pick and the first finger, the index finger of the picking hand, as big as possible to make your harmonic ring out. You can practice this technique with anything. For example, I'm going to play an A minor pentatonic scale now. Always pointing towards 12 frets above the fretted note. Practice this slowly before building up speed, because the main focus is to get the sound right. Next, I'm going to run you through a few options if you're not a pick user or you find yourself without a pick. Instead of a pick, you can use the nail of the thumb, the picking hand, you can use the ring finger or the pinky, while the index finger always points towards 12 frets above the fretted note. It sounds a little different too. This is with the nail of the thumb, ring finger, pinky. So they all sound a little different. You have even more options. You can use your thumb instead of your index finger of the right hand to point towards the fret. In this case, you can increase the distance between where you touch the string and where you pluck the string. For instance, I'm going to use my thumb to point towards 12 frets above the fretted note, and I'm going to use my pinky to pluck the string. It sounds like this. It's very clear. Bass players use this technique quite often. Experiment with all these things and see what works best for you. Now that you're comfortable with the basic techniques on how to execute artificial harmonics, it's time to look into some different sounds. We've mainly focused on pointing towards 12 frets above the fretted note, but you can also point towards 7 frets above the fretted note, or 5. I'm still playing the 7th fret on the G string, only now I'm pointing towards the 19th fret, then the 14th fret, and then the 12th fret. I am using my pick again, holding it between the middle finger and thumb of the picking hand and pointing with my index finger, because this way works best for me. Again, 12 frets above, 7 frets above, 5 frets above. By now you realize that you have a lot of options here. You can go across the string even if you want. Now I'm going to hold down the 5th fret on the low E string, play it 12 frets higher, the artificial harmonic, but I'm going to run up and re-pick it. You have so many notes available, so many harmonics available, try to use them all. Now it's time to add in other techniques, and we're going to focus on pull-offs. I'm going to break down this lick, which you can find in the second bar of example 6Q in the Neo Soul book. The idea is to hold down the D, G, B and E string with the first finger of the fretting hand, so bar across the 9th fret. Next we're going to play an artificial harmonic on the G string, pointing 12 frets above the fretted note, so we point towards the 21st fret, and we play that. Now with the ring finger of the picking hand, we're going to play the high E string, and we're going to do a pull-off from 11 to 9. So again, we point towards the 21st fret on the G string, play the artificial harmonic, then we pluck with the ring finger of the picking hand the 11th fret on the high E string, followed by a pull-off. And we're going to transfer this idea to the next few strings. We're going to play a harmonic on the D string, point towards the 21st fret on the D string, and do a pull-off from 10 to 9 on the B string. And pluck the B string with the ring finger of your picking hand. And practice these two ideas individually before putting them together. Make sure you can play them cleanly before building up speed, and then put it together. Now let's put it all together. If you look at example 6Q, you can see that we have artificial harmonics played 12 frets above the fretted notes, we have artificial harmonics played 7 frets above the fretted notes, and we include this pull-off idea we just looked at. The lick goes something like this. Enjoy. To end this lesson, we're going to focus on another way to execute artificial harmonics. I call this the slap tap. The idea is that you hit the fretboard 12 frets above the fretted notes instead of plucking or picking it. This works especially well for chords. For example, if I play an E major chord in the A shape, so I play the 7th fret on the A string and I bar with my 3rd finger across the D, G and B string on the 9th fret, and I hit the fretboard on the 21st fret, I get all the artificial harmonics from the notes on the 9th fret. You can move your picking hand around to get different sounds. I use my index finger to hit the fretboard, but again, feel free to use any finger you feel most comfortable with. As always, practice this slowly until it sounds exactly right, have fun, and see you next time.